Hi, I'm Shima Shabaita. I go to Chattahoochee Tech and I'm in course 1105, and today is July 12th, 2025. Today I'll be sharing my 3 essential practices for ensuring food safety in early childhood settings. These practices are drawn directly from the Cengage materials, specifically Safety, Nutrition, and Health, Chapter 9, Menu Planning and Food Safety, and Chapter 8, Food Safety. And by prioritizing these practices, caregivers are not only supporting proper nutrition, but also protecting children from illnesses and allergic reactions. Which takes me to my first point is hand hygiene and sanitation. First, I want to focus on the proper way of hand hygiene and sanitation, which is the main point in all food services. And according to Cengage Chapter 8, Food Safety, hands and surfaces must be washed and sanitized before food contact to prevent bacterial contamination. Also in the YouTube video, 7 things to remember when serving food, the video highlights the wash those hands routine, recommending warm water, soap, and at least 20 seconds of scrubbing. It also emphasizes sanitizing tables, utensils, and toys before serving. Modeling this behavior in the classroom will not only keep your classroom clean and bacteria-free, but it will also teach children in the future to wash their hands correctly and sanitize correctly so that they can contain the spread of illness for them and other people. Hand washing and sanitation goes hand in hand with my second point, which is preventing cross-contamination, our second key practice. In Cengage Chapter 9, Menu Planning and Food Safety, it explains that using separate cutting boards and utensils and storage areas like for raw meats and ready-to-go food is extremely important. Being someone that did work in the food service before getting into childcare, this was definitely a very important thing that we were taught constantly and reminded of constantly to do, was cleaning our surfaces and tools before we used a different type of food, just any 2 different foods, that we were not allowed to use them on the same board if it was not cleaned or sanitized. And this is also talked about in Cengage. They also brought up the point of FIFO, which we were also taught in the food service. We were taught first in, first out, and this just really prevents the spoilage of older foods, which also causes spread of bacteria. And to our last and final important point is managing food allergies. We must understand how to manage them, and I've learned that it is a rising concern in the childcare nutrition. So Chapter 8 defines food allergies as immune responses and stresses to prevent severe reactions. Chapter 8 recommends label reading, segregation of allergen-containing foods, and clearly labeling allergen-free zones. Chapter 9 also adds that the educators should have written allergy protocols, communication regularly with families, and remain prepared to respond in case of any emergencies. Labeling and also just knowing in general like what type of allergies certain children do have is extremely important, because it keeps you aware of what they can and can't have, and the daycare in general keeps them aware of what they can and can't have. For emergencies, this also needs to let you know how to deal with a certain situation if something were to happen, because at the end of the day, our job is to protect the children, and that is our main priority. In conclusion, I do believe that all caregivers should definitely implement these practices into their everyday jobs, which go back to the hand washing and sanitation, preventing cross-contamination, and managing food allergies. These practices that were included in Cengage chapters do prevent safe and healthy food environment and meal times for us, and also they do build trust between the families and to the caregivers themselves. So thank you for watching, and please remember that in early child care education, safe food starts with you. Thank you.